The House Ethics Committee began its investigation, the formal trial, as it were today, of Charles Rangel, the very senior Democrat from New York. He goes before the committee today and has kind of a hard luck story. Now says he doesn't have the money to hire a lawyer to defend himself. Here's a little bit of what he had to say.
It is that I am being denied the right to have a lawyer right now because I don't have the opportunity to have a legal defense fund set up, and because I can't afford another $1 million and can't even promise that to counsel.
So what's that all about, Charles?
He couldn't get a legal defense fund set up because he was caught. He was snagged in a primary, very aggressive primary challenge from about 5 different people in his Harlem district, and he was busy, preoccupied with his general election, his bid for re-election. So he didn't have enough time to really raise the kind of funds or the kind of resources to get that legal defense fund going. But also, he kind of used this at the very start of the trial. He used it as sort of a technique, a tactic, to try to put things off, to try to avoid something. It's a little bit of, beginning of the trial drama to get people, sort of egged up about Rangel going to trial, and also for him to just buy himself more time.
Well, he's got all those rent houses, doesn't he? I guess maybe he could sell some of those.
Send out one of those letters, get some contributions. It also gives him an excuse if he loses. He can just say, look, I couldn't put up a defense. And the way this schedule goes, they could be done by the middle of this week and render some kind of a decision by Thursday.
Could they actually deny him his seat in Congress? I mean, the Congress decides who sits in the Congress. He's just been overwhelmingly reelected in his home district.
I think so. I think one of the reasons, too, why you see Rangel being so obstinate is that I think that there's still some room to make a deal. I think that some of that conversation is taking place behind the scenes. At least when you sort of talk to people, you get this sense that Rangel is talking to the House Ethics Committee, he's talking to Democratic leadership, and even Republicans as well. Try to work out some deal. I mean, he's 80 years old. I think he's going to get this last term. I do think after the next 2 years, I do think at some point he'll either step down. He wants to gracefully exit.
What would they do? Fine him or admonish him? Or?
The censure him, have a statement on the floor, vote on a censure, the different levels of do what they did to Newt Gingrich, which essentially in the end, to most people out there, looks just like a slap on the wrist, but it allows them to keep their seat.